Sometimes life feels like I'm in a dream, and I oftentimes say to myself, well, how did I get here?
And you may ask yourself, well, how did I get here? Letting the days go by, let the water hold me down. Letting the days go by, water flowing underground into the blue again. After the money's gone, once in a lifetime, water flowing underground.
But hold on. I don't want to just show you all of the highlights and all the amazing places that I've been and everything like that. I want to show you guys the journey that it took for me to get to where I am today. So, after I graduated high school, I kind of floundered around for about 2 years in college. I had a clothing brand that I started back in high school that I was continuing to run, but overall, I did the typical college thing. I drank and partied, I golfed, I did my schoolwork, but ultimately, I knew that something was missing. I just didn't know what. I got an internship at a bank after my freshman year, which I thought was exactly what I wanted. Turns out it wasn't. I spent my whole summer in an office with no windows, pushing around stacks and stacks of paperwork. And for what? I had no idea. I had no idea what I was doing. I had no idea what I was supposed to be doing. All I knew was that I was miserable. So that internship was a pivotal moment in my life. It made me realize that the bank life wasn't for me. But I still didn't know what I was doing. However, that next year of college, I started messing around with photography more, and then I caught a bit of an adventure bug. I started going on mini adventures on days that I had off, and again, really finding a love for photography that I never knew that I had. By May of 2018, the spring of my sophomore year of college, I got a job as a real estate photographer. My first photography job. I spent that summer traveling around New England, taking pictures of houses and being able to still go on quite a few mini adventures. And then that August, I took a 2-week road trip with my dad out to Western Canada and Montana. Where are we? One of the more pivotal moments of my life. Pretty much my first time leaving New England, and after getting just a taste of what was out there, I came to the realization that being in a classroom just wasn't for me. I made the decision to drop out and started pursuing my degree online in digital photography.
These are moments that just don't leave you. How we doing? Guess where we're heading? We're heading back to the States.
I spent that fall doing more of the same, mini adventures and real estate photography. And then for my 20th birthday, I rented a little cottage outside of Acadia National Park up in Maine for a couple of nights. It was my first real solo adventure and solo cabin type trip, and I loved it. I loved the isolation, even though it was a little nerve-wracking at first, but I just knew that there was something special about it. That next month, I stayed in my first ever tree house, and let me tell you, I was hooked. After that stay, I started looking more into cabins and into tiny homes and saw that there were some really cool looking places around me. I paid to stay in a couple more tree houses and tiny homes that winter, posted a few pictures of them on Instagram, and they absolutely blew up. This was back when I had maybe, 3,000 or 4,000 followers, so getting this amount of likes was crazy. I knew that I had to be onto something. That following winter, I was able to stay in some really cool Airbnbs in exchange for taking some pictures for them. I wasn't making any money from doing it, but I was loving what I was doing. Then in spring of 2019, I reached out to this company called Glamping Hub. I told them that I wanted to do a road trip out west and maybe do some work for them with some of their accommodations. And they absolutely loved the idea. They took a chance on me. They took a chance on a kid with a dream. So I spent the next 3 months living out of my car, spending my time between staying in some epic cabins and exploring as much as I could. I didn't make any money whatsoever from that trip, but that's not what I intended to do. I gained so much photo and video experience and learned more about myself than I ever thought had been possible. And I truly fell in love with living. That trip absolutely changed my life. I knew that what I was doing was what I was meant to be doing, and now all I needed to figure out was how to make some money with it. That following summer and fall weren't anything all that special. I had a few more cabin stays throughout the Northeast and Eastern Canada, staying in some truly special spots, but again, not making any money from them. But I was extremely grateful to be having these insane experiences and staying in all these incredible spots. Then I landed a couple of gigs with some brands like JBL Audio and Timberland, my first real brand work. And the rest of the summer and fall was just spent doing more of the same and some miscellaneous work, just kind of trying to stay afloat. And then winter came, and it felt like I hit a rut. I was just feeling like I was going through the motions. I was still able to stay at some incredible places, but I just wasn't feeling creatively inspired. I felt stuck. I needed a change. So I headed down to Costa Rica for 2 unbelievable months. I spent the first month living with my friend Jeremy in a house by a beach. That month was full of wildlife, waterfalls, and lots of beach time. I spent half of the second month living with a loving host family, and then the second half of that month volunteering at an animal shelter. Both of them were amazing experiences. I made some memories that I'll cherish forever, and throughout it all, I rediscovered my passion for photography, taking some of my favorite photos that I've ever captured. And then, right as life seemed to be going great again, disaster struck. COVID-19, which, shook the world.
Declaring a national disaster.
A surge that this is going to get worse, but from the coronavirus yesterday.
We don't know, but we know there's a lot more.
New COVID-19 hospitalizations. Business owners
Deaths from coronavirus in the United States have
Vaccine that might be.
As soon as I got back to the States, everything was shutting down, and I was devastated. I got lucky though. I started doing some land care work with my dad and picked up real estate photography again. I was able to make a little bit of money and keep my photo skills sharp and keep myself busy. But it was only until things with COVID settled a bit and that Airbnb started opening again. And then I saw my chance. Mid-June came, and I told both my jobs that I was going off on my own. I was going to make it work this time. And I'm sure as hell trying. I spent the whole summer traveling around the Northeast, staying in the most amazing places, taking pictures and creating video tours for them. And it's honestly just the beginning. I am so utterly excited for what my future holds. I've got so many stories to tell, and I can't wait to bring you all along for the ride. I hope you'll join me. Until next time. Hey guys, this is Bruin, by the way, if you don't know him. So if you guys made it through the whole video, thank you so much for watching. I mean, that video is just kind of like a brief overview of, you know, the journey that it took, that I've taken in the past 2 years. It has definitely been a little crazy, a little nerve-wracking even now. I mean, just last month I completely fried my camera and had to buy a brand new one, which, you know, that sucks, but that's kind of what happens with life. You know, it takes a bunch of unexpected turns and twists, and so who knows what my future's gonna hold. I just now more than ever kind of have a vision for what I want my life to become and kind of the purpose that I see myself playing. So yeah, I really hope you guys join me for this ride. I've got a lot of stories to tell. I've got some exciting things, and yeah, hope to see you guys along. Later.